Hi, I'm Michael Wargo, team pilot for Precision Aerobatics, and this is my Addiction X. Once again, I want to try and give you a pilot's perspective, and this is what I love about my personal plane. This is my Addiction X. First of all, let me tell you that this plane's taken more abuse than about any 5 airplanes I own. I am constantly trying to dance with the ground, and I lose every once in a while. One of the things I really like about this that Steve will go over with you a little bit is it's just really robust, and if something does ever happen, it's very easy to get flying exactly like it used to fly. Some of the other things I really love about this airplane, and it's really important, is the power system. The power system that's in this airplane suits it perfectly. That means the battery matches the motor. The motor thrust to weight ratio matches the airplane perfectly. It's not too strong and it's not too weak. The bottom line is we've got a 30C very light pack. A lot of times people are trying to put 65 and 130C packs in here. They're bigger, heavier, and the plane just doesn't perform as well. You only need a 30C pack, exactly as Precision Aerobatics is prescribed. Just like all the other models, it's easy in the battery tray, no trouble, quick strap, and that's it. It should be obvious from all the other videos that I've done that I think this is an absolutely astounding airplane. It 3Ds better and easier than anything I've ever flown. Hovers like it does it itself. It's really quite astounding. And truthfully, it's all in the wing loading. These wings are very large. The flight surfaces are huge. And this plane just performs like nothing else, absolutely nothing else in the sky. In fact, you'll see a couple maneuvers that I can do with this. You've seen me flat spin it right to landing, and honestly, this is the only airplane in the world you can do it with, this and the regular Addiction, that I know of. One other thing that is really going to surprise you, as it surprised me, is this plane flies very straight. It's a very precise airplane. When I first flew it, I just kind of didn't give it credit for competing with some of the other planes with the precision stuff. But I really enjoy flying nice straight lines with it, and you'll see when we fly it, but this plane is a really amazing airplane in every possible way.
Hi everybody, I'm Steve King, and I'm Mike Wargo's builder of all these airplanes, but this one in particular, the Addiction X, you don't need any tips from me. I don't have any, simply because the instruction manual tells you everything you need to know. One tip I can tell you is, due to some of Mike's interesting flying techniques, just about every surface on this airplane has touched the ground at one time or another, and when it has needed a repair, I'm the one that gets to do it. And one of the little tips that I use, that you can use too, is get yourself a little syringe, a small needle if you can find one, fill it up with some clear, thin CA, and you can use it to do a repair on these things, like right here on this wingtip. You can barely see this little crease right here. When the wingtip broke, all I did was take the syringe, stick it through the plastic, and bond the balsa wood together again. Another thing I like about the crash worthiness of this type of aircraft, even though it is balsa, and you can see that in here, all the impregnated carbon fiber, that's what gives the plane the strength and its bounce back ability. Makes it a whole lot easier to put it back together again. I do have one bit of advice too, is when you're building this airplane, take your time, follow the instructions, and make sure the tail is 100% straight in every facet. That way this plane will fly like Mike wants it to and PA expects it to. And just to let you know that I not only build it, I fly it also. I've got my own, and this plane, like Mike has said earlier, flies straight as an arrow, and even somebody is not as proficient on the sticks as I am compared to Michael, this thing makes me look great.
And I gotta tell you something, this plane is really kind of old and it's taken a lot of abuse. Just watch it fly how straight, and no worse for wear. What I really love about this plane above all else is just how floaty and light it looks while it's flying. And as you can see here, we're going to go ahead and just stand it up. It looks like it's very, 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 very light when it's flying. It doesn't require as much throttle manipulation as most of the other planes as well. Try and show you a little bit of how nice and precise straight lines it flies. The precision aspect of this plane is, I think, is really important. You know, it's not just light and agile. You know, it really maintains the lines, and all the precise maneuvers that you see me do with pattern shifts and other things, you know, most of them can be done with this airframe. The single rolling loops and maneuvers like that are very difficult. You need a plane that really responds. And I did that on 3D rates, for the record. That's how straight it flies. I mentioned a maneuver that no other plane really can, I've never seen any other plane do it. And this is it. This is a flat spin landing. This is going to land just like this. Now we're going to do an inverted flat spin landing. Just kidding. These really large surfaces will enable this airplane to turn on a dime. It absolutely knife edges better than about any plane I've ever seen. What did I hit? The truth is, we've been looking for some examples of flying it just a little too low.
Now here's the durability factor of this airplane. Watch it go back up in the air again. Go, fly it again. It's true. I'm still recording. Nothing broke.
I checked the surfaces. This is going up right after that little tumble. Like I said, since the first Addiction came out, you know, I've really developed an affinity for the Addiction, because I think they're a plane that you can just come out and throw around and have fun, and I don't really ever see a reason not to have this airplane in my car, or the regular Addiction. But this plane just flies amazing. If you watch how level this thing will make a turn like that, just think of how difficult that is for an extra or something like an edge or a slick. It just can't do it. This plane can fly lower, slower, and easier than anything I've ever seen. Look how high that nose is. And something that surprises a lot of people is that despite this wing, you can get it to tumble. Watch. Except you got more control. I mean, when can you control the exit of a tumble like that? Like, another thing is these diving maneuvers. You know, this thing exits just absolutely flat. Well, here's Steve with a post-incident report.
The one thing we have down here is the wheel pant. You see it was knocked off. The inside on the fuselage has the wing cartwheel. Caused a little bit of flex on the fuselage, which you can see right in here.
Yeah, it pulled away right from the bolt. That's a little quick glue.
Yep. Now right here on the tail, there's a little bit of a crack on the inside of the rudder right here, which is another syringe filled CA fix. Not a problem.
Yeah, it'll take about 10 seconds to put something in there to get the rigidity back, and that's it.
She's back
Same
on
thing
it.
with up here. Obviously this was by no means intentional, even though we did kind of bring it up in the initial parts of this. But she's still flying and still going to be in great shape when this is done.